take you to the comic shop. I'll let you read about Cyclops. I'll have you spending all you got. Jawbreakers is looking hot. Zach.
Welcome back, all you beautiful people out there in Webtown, to another totally awesome comic book review on Testosterone Overload. I am your humble guide through the back issue bins, Left Hand Legit on your Twitter account. And we have been going through the Executioner song, the biggest crossover event in the early 1990s X-Men history. We successfully completed all 12 parts, and today we are going to go through a few other supplementary pieces related to the Executioner song. And what I want to talk about today is the first appearance of Cable. I know what all of you are saying. Oh, but legit, we already talked about the first appearance of Cable in New Mutants number 87. Nah. That's not what I'm talking about here, kids. That's not what we're talking about today. We're talking about the real first appearance of Cable, and it was in this rather expensive comic I'm going to share with you right now. This is the Uncanny X-Men number 201. When Cyclops and Storm got down to it to decide who was going to lead the X-Men after Madelyne Pryor had Scott Summers' baby. There he is, baby Cable. Isn't he cute? Look at the little chubby cheeks on that little fella. So, this is not extremely relevant to us, but I thought it would be neat to be able to show this off to you guys because I know that all the Cable fans out there who don't have, $30 to $60 to plug down on this, the first appearance of baby Cable, would probably like to see it. Basically, what's going on here is Madelyne Pryor, who is like the clone of Jean Grey, she's very upset that Scott was not there for the birth of the child. In fact, it was on this very floor in the kitchen of Xavier Mansion where she gave birth to that child. And it was a very, very quick labor. Before she even realized she was in labor, she had the baby in her arms. They reached the hospital and everything was all right. And all the X-Men called to see if she was fine, but guess who didn't? Scott, that dick Scott Summers, abandons his clone bride and infant Cable baby. And then there's also Rachel Summers, who is like the other child of Scott and Jean from the future. Basically, Scott and Jean, or Jean's clone, Madelyne, they like to just shoot their kids into the future, and then the kids time travel back into the past, and it's maybe a little too excessive. Maybe it's happened enough. Like, how many kids can you shoot into the future and then have come back into the past? I don't know. And Scott, of course, this self-centered piece of crap, all he really cares about is leading the X-Men. He just wants to be a leader, even though he's not really a good leader. And look who it is far away on the Starjammer, which is, I don't know if you guys know Starjammers. It's Imagine Guardians of the Galaxy, but with dorkier characters who have really, really trashy Fu Manchu mustaches. And I just saw this and I was shocked. It's embarrassing. It's embarrassing to look at. But look, it's Carol Danvers. Can you believe it? And look, she's got some B cups in this one. Kind of like that. I like the little ones. Yeah, she's not Marvel yet. She's binary right now. And Charles, he's hanging out with him. None of this actually matters to what we're talking about, but Charles does get some alien punani on the ship, so that's fun. And look at these little bikini shorts that Rogue is wearing, and that's cute. Kind of reminds me of what's going to happen in the future. And just in case you're wondering, this is actually from January of 1986. Baby Cable was born January of 86. How about that? And this is totally out of place. I cannot imagine a German fellow like Nightcrawler saying, swing better, hey, better, we want a picture, not a belly itcher. Yeah, sorry. It's just not in his character to do that. And That's one thing I've kind of noticed about some of these X-Men books is that there's so many characters that the writer almost forgets like the voices of the different characters and has them saying things that are very similar to what another guy just said 5 pages before. But this is kind of fun. Like, let me show you this. Like Colossus, you know, he's up to bat, and he turns into his metal form and knocks that sucker not just out of the park, but out of the friggin' state. Goes up into the atmosphere where there's a plane flying, and someone's saying on the plane, "You've got a meeting with Senator Dole." That's a free pop for all of you from the 80s and 90s. We're talking about Bob Dole right there. Followed by the reception for the New York Mets to congratulate them on winning the World Series. Yeah, go Mets! Then, sir, Dr. Valerie Cooper, who we do remember from the Executioner song. Mr. President, is there anything the matter? I'm not sure, Don. Take a look out the window. Do you see what I see? And it's Rogue. She's like flowing all the way up there to catch the ball. And then she comes up and gives Ronnie Reagan a kiss, which I love. I love it. This is the best president we had before Donald Trump. Before him, there was a fellow by the name of Abraham Lincoln, who I really liked. And we also had another fellow I really liked named James K. Polk. There's another fellow I really like named Thomas Jefferson. I'm naming some of the best presidents in history. And obviously Rogue knows exactly what I'm talking about because she leaves that kiss right on the window of Air Force One. I think, Don, we better keep this between ourselves. We don't want Nancy to find out. So, yeah, I think that's cool, even though I do wonder, like, wouldn't there have been like a separate fighter jet that would have just blown the holy hell out of her for getting that close to Air Force One? I don't know. Maybe not. Anyway, so yeah, we don't need to worry about this. Kyle, Spider-Man is actually looking for Captain Crunch, who's gone missing. He went missing back in 1986, and there was you could be one of 10,000 winners to share $1 million if you could figure out where Captain Crunch disappeared to. Probably on Crunch Island. And so I think there's this big argument going on between Madelyne and Scott and how he can't, get his ego in check. Listen to yourself, Scott. Are you saying you and you alone are absolutely essential to the X-Men's survival? Or are you afraid they really can get along without you? And this is where she like really takes the fork and sticks it in and starts turning it in his ribs really hard. Is your life so hollow, your sense of self-worth so fragile that you believe you're nothing without them? What about me? What about us? My commitment to you precludes everything. Are you telling me the same doesn't hold true in reverse? Man, that's it, man. She's sticking it to him. I would call her a bitch. But you know what? Scott's getting everything that's coming to him, this little jerk. Hate this jock. I want to rip those glasses off his head and just grab him by the hair and point his eyes down at his dick. Done. No more babies to shoot into the future. So anyways, Aurora shows up and she's just like, all right, let's go fight. We're going to figure out who the leader is. And then Madelyne's left holding baby Cable. Nathan, Dayspring, Askani'son. In the Danger Room, Magneto, who is now just like become in charge of Xavier's School for Gifted Youngsters. He's reformed his cheating ways and joined the fight for good. But of course, Scott doesn't trust him. Typical Scott. So they go in the Danger Room and it creates like this fake environment, and he really describes the Danger Room here. Good Lord. I know this is the Danger Room, that this setting is a mix of illusion and reality, three-dimensional holograms and physical props, but it seems so lifelike. There's sight, sound, even smells. The deception is perfect. And Storm is just like, splendid, Douglas. I don't know who Douglas is. I am assuming that Douglas is the X-Men's version of Jarvis. But it just threw me off when I was reading this a moment ago that splendid Douglas. Cyclops optic blasts are his advantage. This environment you created is mine. We are evenly matched. But I don't know why it's evenly matched, Doesn't make sense. This is her environment? Is this like a facsimile of what it's like in Africa? Like a post-apocalyptic New York City? Okay. I'll make this short and sweet, Storm. Zerk. Oh, no, excuse me. Zark. Tony Zark. It's the cheap Russian knockoff of Tony Stark. They have Tony Zark, like they have Robert Cop instead of RoboCop. That's it. You're certainly welcome to try, my friend. She's so fast and as agile as a cat. Blah, blah, blah. So, they keep fighting. And Wolverine, he's watching, but he's got his money on Aurora for sure. And then Madelyne, so the reservations are made, baby. This time tomorrow we'll be on our way home. They were living in Alaska, and Scott drug them back to New York to take care of, all of his personal needs as the wannabe leader of the X-Men, because he can't handle that he's not actually needed or wanted and hasn't been since X-Men #1. Uncanny X-Men #1. I want Scott to lose, so he'll be coming with us. Except losing will break his heart. Oh, why can't it be because he wants to, instead of because he has no other choice? But none of this has any meaning to you, does it, Sweet Pea? So long as you're fed and warm and loved, you're happy. We should all be so lucky. Huh? The sky was perfectly clear a minute ago. Where's this storm come from? Ah, get it? Because she's Aurora and she's got the power to control the storm. She's behind me. Missed. Oh, sorry. Spam. This is like the cheap Russian knockoff of Spam. They have Spam over there. My visor. Got it. Had to keep my eyes closed and covered. The ruby quartz lens in my visor is my sole means of controlling my optic blast. Grab him by the head, Storm. Point his eyes at his dick. Quick. You are effectively helpless, Cyclops. You dare not unleash your eye beams without risking killing everyone around you. Our duel is over. The best X-Man won, Storm. Congratulations. And good luck. I don't believe it. I'm dreaming. This isn't happening. I lost to a girl. I don't like it, but I'll have to learn to live with it. Aw, you poor little baby. You got beat up by a girl. You don't deserve to lead the X-Men. There's no place for me here. That's right, Scott. Kick rocks, homie. I wonder, after all I've said and done, if there's any now with Madelyne. No, probably not. You're probably going to end up shooting your only son into a time warp, you dick. That's why you shouldn't be. And then, here's your other daughter, and, she's daydreaming about her mommy. And this is all lost on me, because I didn't read the previous 100 issues of X-Men and don't care to. Because, yeah. It's too many summers. There's too many damn summers in the X titles. I'm sick of it, man. I'm really sick of it. So that is the origin of Cable, but then we get to a moment, a song, whose repercussions are felt 250,000 miles away, in a back alley on the moon. In a back alley on the moon? The Watcher runs a illegal abortion shop up there in the blue area of the moon. Back alley on the moon, where Jean Grey sacrificed herself to save the universe. It begins, but as to the ending, who can say? As before, I may not act. My charge is ever to observe, for I am the Watcher. And then Rachel's like, I hope, Mom, you don't mind the company. She's like, how do I explain what's happened here? I guess I just have to read this. I didn't mean to break the memory, Crystal. Okay, I don't know what that means, but I pray I can repair it. All I have to do is realign the energy matrices. The holographic image is reforming, and the empathic resonances are still intact, unaffected by the damage. It's like I was holding Mom in person, and she was really super tiny. As if she was really here with me, except tiny. But I'm not done. There's one more element to add. She's never heard her power sing within her before. It's a glorious moment, as she pours her heart and soul into the crystal sphere she holds. I hope, Mom, you don't mind the company. I've added a piece of my essence to share the holempathic matrix crystal with yours. Is this a real word? Go ahead and look this up on dictionary.com. Holempathic. Holempathic? I don't know. I want to know. Look it up on dictionary.com and tell me in the comments below if that's a real word. Goodbye, Grandpa. Goodbye, Gran. Maybe the world of my father and the Rachel Summers who lived in it will never be. But I exist, and now I hope I'll be remembered. Okay. Guess you had to read all the previous X-Men to really get into this one. If you understand the story of Rachel Summers, please let me know in the comments below. There are going to be some confused people watching this video who are even more confused than I am, and they might like to know. So please let us know all that. So there it is, man. That's the actual real live first appearance of Cable when he was a little tiny baby whose parents didn't really give too much of a crap about him. Well, at least his daddy didn't. His daddy's going to shoot him into time very soon, and we're going to talk about that in a future video, undoubtedly. But there it is, Uncanny X-Men, number 201. Who will lead them? Turns out it was Storm. She beat him. He got beat by a girl. Now he's out. You got to go, Scott. Time's up. And time is up for this video. So, give us a like, subscribe, hit that ding dong for notifications, and I will be back in just a little while with another video that deals with the X-Men, that deals with Cable, that deals with Strife, that deals with the Executioner's song as we piece together the mysteries of Nathan Dayspring Askani'son right here on Testosterone Overload.